Day, Rusk enjoyers. Hope you're right, 'cause it's time for a review. Now, last week we discussed the Easter Week 1 Rust store for 2026, and that means today we're here for Easter Week 2, April 9, 2026. So sit back, relax, and I'll start yapping. So, another Easter Rust store. I've already kind of established the point with the previous video that people just don't really care about Easter skins. Let alone like holiday skins. Once they're out of season, the value just kind of drops off, doesn't it? So we've seen this before of like Christmas skins, Halloween skins, but Easter's like kind of special. It just doesn't have that much support whatsoever. However, there could potentially be one saving grace. But first of all, what's my initial reaction when I first saw this Rust store? A Hazma egg garage door? What? Did we already have a garage door? Yes, we did. So, Hazma collection, early in the year, we had a Hazma garage door. It sold over 50,000 units. And then, of course, we also saw a sheepman door, over 40,000. But, hold on a second. If it's already had a garage door, why is there a new one? And you might be sitting there and saying, what's wrong? Well, like, this has never happened before. Whilst I have seen like collections with like a decent amount of skins being made, try and also make like a holiday skin for that collection, usually those just aren't even looked at, or rather they just don't get the acceptance. But it's the fact that we've already had a Hazma garage door, and now, well, skin creator thought, well, what I'll do is I'll just do another garage door and I'll just make it Easter themed. And it gets accepted. So I've never seen something like this happen before. But I also am sitting here and thinking, well, what happens then? Because that's an anime skin. Anime girl design, but with the cute bunnies, the Easter eggs. So it's clearly like very Easter themed, but it has an anime girl on it. Oh, there's some conflicting points there. What I'm saying is by default, I'm instantly assuming that's going to sell quite decently, but is it going to retain its value? Well, that's going to be pretty interesting to discuss, but we do have to move on because we also happen to have another Easter chick skin. We saw the bed being accepted. 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. 4 in a row. Yep. Nice, bright, and yellow. I can't wait to sleep on that chick. What? But yeah, we saw this beforehand. We were rooting for it. And yeah, it was accepted. So I guess Easter chick collection's now a mainstay for future Easter Rust stores. Okay, I'm not against that. But would that sell quite decently, or would it potentially sell like next to nothing? What do I mean by that? Don't worry, we'll get to that point. Now, among all these interesting looking designs, we also happen to see a Sandbag Barricade skin being accepted. And you might be sitting there and saying, what's so special? For a very long time, we literally only had one Sandbag Barricade skin in all of Rust. Grandmother's Gift Barricade. Now, at this specific time, back in April 2026, this was actually listed at about $150 on the Steam market. Again, listed. In regards to the, is it worth that price and whatnot? To be honest, I was kind of questioning it. Like, here's a good question to ask you, the viewer, right now. How often have you even used Sandbag Barricades, let alone skin them? Oh, but that quite literally was the only Sandbag Barricade skin in all of Rust, and there wasn't that many of them that are actually in circulation, so it was quite special. But now we have a second option. Oh, okay then. So as you'll see, a perfectly fine looking batch of hot cross buttons. That's, like back then, before I even saw this in the Rust store, I was like, that's actually a very clever idea. But now I question, with it now being accepted, will people look at that and think, oh, it's an Easter themed skin? Well, how many people in the world acknowledge hot cross buns to be associated with Easter time? I'd assume like only the Commonwealth countries. Okay, well, maybe it's going to work out quite all right, simply due to the fact that it's a Sandbag Barricade skin. How likely are we going to even see any people attempt to make another skin for this, let alone actually get accepted? Because I'm not joking when I say it is incredibly rare to see people even bother to make a skin for this. As far as I'm aware, it's not a fun thing to do. So, okay, cool. I'll be keeping an eye on it, but you can't just assume everything's going to be okay just because, like, it's got next to no skins. Again, is it even going to be used that much? Are people actually going to make use of the skin and have hot cross bun barricades around their base? Maybe some people would enjoy that. So, all right, cool. So what's this thing I want to talk about? I have noticed a trend with the previous second Easter rush stores in the past, where I noticed that the skins just don't sell that much. Well, I mean, that's not too surprising, is it? We've already established that people don't really care about Easter skins that much. But what I'm trying to get across is, and I definitely did this the second I saw this rush store, I made reference to the previous year's Easter Week 2 rush store. So this is Easter Week 2, 2025, and just look. The top selling skin after 7 days in the rush store only had around 8,200 subscribers. Well, now you understand. Basically, with a real sheer lack of sales overall, maybe some of the skins could actually work out quite alright. Because even back then, I had quite a surprise to see that some of these skins were actually doing quite nicely. Neon Bunny's large wooden box, right now not exactly super profitable, but still technically in the positive. Mr. Chick Rock, I mean, yeah. Easter Neon Fridge, perfectly fine back then in the positive, still right now as well. But again, also take note, look at the subscriber count, 5,200, 6,000. Again, just barely around 8,200. Colourful Sweetie Easter Backpack, this only had 4,500 subscribers, and yet, right now, still perfectly in the positive. So, in short, could we see that sort of behaviour happen all over again here right now? Or rather, for this week? I was thinking it could happen. But, not that Hazma Egg Garage Door. No. That's going to sell nicely. But everything else, I'll be keeping an eye on it. Now, we did see some pretty interesting Easter-themed skins and whatnot, some very cool-looking designs, but I was, by default, assuming the worst. Of course, certain skins did catch my eye, but nothing is ever a guarantee. So now, what we're going to do is go ahead and consider what potentially could have been the best investments for the week. What did I consider back then? But it's going to be the same things I've already mentioned. By default, with it being Easter time, it really wouldn't surprise me with the possibility that they'd suffer. But that Hazma Egg Garage Door, I had to jump onto it. I have seen interesting anime-style garage doors in the past for previous, holidays. So literally the previous Halloween. Back then, back in April 2026, I was looking at the Moonlight Raider Garage Door, an interesting Halloween skin. That was still in the positive. I could go further back. I could look at maybe something such as, Lover's Arrow, which isn't exactly like anime, but you got the cute girl design. That was perfect in the positive. I honestly thought this could still work out quite alright. Yes, we already have the Hazma Garage Door by default, but that was pushing up to $5 at this specific time. That right there, only $2.49. So, okay, yeah, that was the main thing I was looking at. But I was also considering that the sheep doors could probably work out quite nicely. Looking back with previous sheep doors for Easter rush stores, I was expecting that these were going to go down by about half their price. But what I tend to see with Easter sheep doors is once it's around Easter again, or at least, once we're past post-Christmas, the doors tend to rise back up to a certain point, usually around slightly better than the halfway point of their price, every year. I can assume that these $2 and $2.49 skins would probably go below $1, but then after a while they'll probably perk back up and do a little bit better, maybe close to about $1.20. I'm still expecting them to drop off, but I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. Maybe with a good buy order, I could probably walk away with some pretty decent profit. Other than that, I still expect them to go down in price. So, okay, cool. I definitely would have talked about the Easter chick bed as well. There's a lot of potential positives, but I was still concerned in regards to the amount of bed skins we were seeing being accepted because, yes, it's been quite a ridiculous amount so far up to this point. Again, a full proper year will have passed once we've reached October 4 swipe. And at this specific point in time, we have seen 30 bed skins being accepted. That's ridiculous. Is it going to stop? I doubt it. So, yes, with so many options available, does that stand out enough? Is it goofy enough to be appreciated and whatnot? I was respectfully, I thought that could be the case. I was hoping that would be the case because, again, I do like the Easter chick skins. But you'd have to still be a little bit wary. So, all right, cool. And then, of course, we have like the hot crust buns barricade. You're purely banking with the idea that people would want it simply because we're not expecting another Sandbag barricade skin ever again. Again, maybe people would be doing comparisons with the grandmother's gift barricade. Not sure why. I wasn't fully behind it. I respected it to a point, but I just wasn't fully behind it. So, okay, cool. Well, how did everything turn out with the first 24 hours of sales? I can confirm to you, yes. Hazma egg garage door, that was comfortably selling like a perfectly fine amount, just over 9,200 subscribers. But then it drops off pretty badly. The Easter Bunny sheep door, just about 3,600 subscribers. Sorry about that. I lost my tongue there. But then, following that, we had the Easter chick bed, the egg basket satchel. Yeah, both of them around 3,000 subscribers. So it was looking to be another situation where there's going to be hardly any sales. Maybe a sheer lack of sales could probably help out these skins, but again, nothing is guaranteed. But I will acknowledge that the garage door, you're doing fine, as if you're just not even a Easter skin. Bed certainly was looking a whole lot more interesting with the fact that it just wasn't selling that much. Like, I'm looking at that bed and I'm just assuming it's going to probably barely reach 10,000 subscribers. Oh, that makes it a lot more interesting, yes indeed. And Hot Crust Buns Barricade, barely over 2,000 subscribers. Maybe that could work out in its favour. We'll see how it goes. So on the night of the abnormals, you might be a little bit confused with Hazma's positioning here. SMM kind of broke on that day. I can confirm to you on the night, I'm looking at that garage door and I can see that that had just over 24,000 subscribers. Easter Bunny sheep door, just under 9,000 subscribers. Egg basket satchel charge, 7,200 subscribers. Egg durable SAR, 6,900 subscribers almost. Do you notice something that's happened here? A few more skins have turned up and ended up selling more in comparison to Easter Chick Bed. Because on this night, Easter Chick Bed only did around 6,761 subscribers. I mean, what happened there? I don't know. But I'm not upset by it. It's hardly selling anything. Like, as I said, initially I was assuming that I was only going to do around 10,000 subscribers. It doesn't look like it's going to reach even 10,000 now. So, okay. I should also point out Hot Crust Buns Barricade, 4,400 subscribers. All right then. Sheer lack of sales. Maybe in about a year's time, quite a few of these skins can actually work out quite nicely. Anyway, in regards to price suggestions, I was making considerations and whatnot, and basically, I thought to myself, okay, Hazma egg garage door. It's fine for what it is. It has sold quite a decent amount. I was making considerations. I had my thoughts. With that priced at $2.49, I thought, you know what? I still have to go like fairly strong with it. I suggested $1.70 to $2.20. I thought I wouldn't be surprised if we'll probably see more Hazma skins being accepted after this. I know the skin creator was actively trying to make some more skins, hoping to get more acceptances. But I also have that hunch in my head. Okay, so we're going to have like Halloween Hazma and Christmas Hazma and maybe next year Lunar New Year Hazma, Valentine's Hazma. Okay, well, yeah, I'm all for it then. We'll see how it goes. Is everything going to work out nicely though? We'll see. So, cool. Now, in regards to the Easter chick bed, I was looking at it, I was considering, and I thought to myself, you know what? That's a unique looking bed. I won't be surprised if we're seeing even more Easter chick skins next year. All bright and yellow and goofy. Not sure what item it will be. We'll have to find out eventually, won't we? but that has sold next to nothing. The previous Easter chick skins have worked out nicely. I had to jump onto it. So for a $2.49 price, I suggested $1.50 to $2. I was going on pretty strong. Now, in regards to the other abnormal skins on this particular night, Easter egg grenade, I looked at it. I questioned, like, are we going to see that many grenade skins this year? We'll talk about that in a second. But overall, yeah, at $2, I just thought 80 cents to $1.20. Maybe it manages to retain a decent amount of its price. We have seen some grenade skins being accepted as of recent, but if I can recall, they did not go below like $1.20. Not a single one went below $1.20, so that's why I was offering up to that point. Neon Rise Sheep Nador, yes, the glow-in-the-dark Sheep Nador right here. Following that situation, where I talked about how previous Easter-themed Sheep Nadors have risen up to a point where they could still be profitable with the right type of barter, I suggested 70 cents to $1. Now with the Easter Neon Box, wow, you've sold like next to nothing, just under 5,000 subscribers. I was looking at that and I was thinking, okay, $2, but a perfectly fine looking glow-in-the-dark small box. I'll offer 80 cents to $1.20. Then we have the Cozy Egg Wrap, which it's a burlap head wrap priced at $2 if I can recall. I don't think people care enough about head wraps. I don't think they get that much usage. You could comment below if you happen to use a certain skin in particular, but I don't think people are going to be super eager to roam around as an egg. Just being honest. So I was looking at that and I thought, all right, you know what? With a sheer lack of sales, maybe I'll offer 70 cents to 90 cents. Maybe it could still work out quite nicely. Well, we'll talk about that in a bit, won't we? Now, of the remaining skins, the skins that weren't abnormal, Easter Bunny Sheep Nador, top selling skin aside from Hazma, that had about 9,000 subscribers, and yet priced at $2. I thought, you know what, I'll only do 70 cents, 90 cents. A perfectly fine looking Easter Bunny design. It's just, I didn't think people would care that much. With the satchel charge, I thought, didn't we have a satchel charge being accepted for Valentine's? Yes, we did. I referenced back to that, looked at the progress that other satchel charge had, and I thought, you know what, I'll only offer 50 cents for that. I didn't fully trust it. I wasn't fully behind it. And then, of course, we had the Egg Durable SAR. I mean, it looks nice. It's a perfectly fine amount of blue and whatnot. I just didn't fully trust that either. I only offered 60 cents to 80 cents. And then the Hot Crust Buns Barricade. It's an interesting looking skin, but I just don't see people actively wanting to use it. Like, you'd have to go about your way to actually get a Sandbag Barricade to then put down and look at it and go, wow, it's Hot Crust Buns. Like, how many people are actually going to want to do that? To be honest with you, I had no idea. But I certainly assumed it wouldn't be that many people. So I looked at that and I thought, okay, I'm only going to offer 70 cents, 90 cents. I wasn't fully behind it. I didn't fully trust it. Well, guess we'll just have to see how things panned out. And now it is time for the conclusion. So first of all, let's just quickly point out, in regards to purchases, after doing the abnormal barters, I thought, you know what, I have to jump on, grab myself about 50 of the Hazma Egg Garage doors. But I also looked at the Easter Chick bed, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'll grab myself a sneaky 20. I'll grab myself 20 of these. We'll see how that goes. Because I was very much under the impression the Easter Chick bed at the very least would still work out nicely. What with the recent skins all doing quite nicely. So, okay, cool. Looking at these skins now, I unfortunately must sit here and tell you that I got dumped on recently with these. These are retaining to a decent point. But yeah, do you see that big drop off there? That's me. They dumped on me. So this is sitting here at $2.30. It is ever so slightly below its raw store price. But do you notice a big problem? Other people. As you'll notice, as we look over to here, there's a 72 listing and there's a 52 listing. Yep. So if you're hoping for this to slowly keep rising up in price and work out nicely as a potential nice investment in the future, not going to happen for a while. Someone thought it was an incredibly smart thing to do to list about over 70 of them on the Steam market. Is that doing anybody any favours? No. So, yeah, it was doing quite all right for some time. As of now, it is slightly below its rust price. I certainly would hope it improves. I certainly would hope that these people remove their listing so it could, like, rise up nicely. Again, if you want profit to happen, don't be the cause of something like this happening. Oof, horrible. So, yeah, it's kind of just there at the moment. And we didn't see any more Hazma skins being accepted. That was also quite a surprise. So, yep, let's just quickly go ahead and showcase that to you. So, Hazma. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Whoops, so go to here. Sorry about that. Here you go. So, Hazma, Garage Door, Sheep Door, and Easter Egg Garage Door. Slightly down in the positive. Slightly down from being positive. Ah, whatever. I've lost my tongue. But, yeah, that did reach just over 26,500 subscribers. It's perfectly fine like a garage door for what it is. But I'd be under the impression that it suffered because it's no longer Easter time. Is that going to rise up in price in anticipations next Easter? We'll see how that goes. Are we actually going to see a Halloween Hazma? Are we going to see a Christmas Hazma? I certainly look forward to finding out. So, all right, cool. That's perfectly fine. Both the sheep doors have dropped off. Both of them are around $1 at the moment. So, Easter Bunny, get a good look at this. And as you'll notice, that right there, it's only 98 cents. Sold for $2, 98 cents. It's about halfway. I'm not going to complain. Now, regards to the glow-in-the-dark neon rise sheep door, again, it's another rush store this year where we have two sheep doors at the same time. Not exactly doing these guys any favours. But, yeah, that's a straggler. If that sale goes through, suddenly it's back up to like $1.10. If you sell all three of these, suddenly it's looking as if it's worth $1.40. But when you look at the bar orders, when you look at the sales, you'll notice that people just selling to the highest bar order, aren't they? Yeah. But who knows if this manages to pick up in the future? Like, there's only 15 listings here. It could improve. We'll see how that goes. So we'll see if that behaviour we've seen with previous sheep doors of the past at Easter actually works out. But again, I'm looking at both of these, and I'm just assuming that they might go up to like $1.50. That's what I'm expecting. So the price would still be down, but maybe if you jumped in now, waited a while, you could make pennies profit. Does that sound like it's worth it? Probably not, but I guess some people wouldn't complain or be upset about that. Whatever. Anyway, they have gone down in price, like a lot of the other Easter skins here. Oh boy, it's not looking very pretty, is it? No. But back to SCMM. Based on what we're looking at here, we were expecting this to happen. But wow, yeah, that's not looking very pretty. Now again, based on what we saw the previous year's Easter week 2, we still have to wait like a year. At the very least, we have to go through post-Christmas, then look at the skins. By default, you'd assume they do like better, because of course, post-Christmas, loads of people playing, all skins go up in value. But how many people are going to be trying to buy Easter skins when it's like January? We'll see. I might just kind of like skip quite a lot of these skins, because at the end of the day, they've all gone down, and that was expected, much like what we did with the previous week. I'll give a quick look at like the satchel charge, for example, because that was listed at 99 cents, and as you'll notice, it has gone down slightly, but yeah, it's just there, sitting there at like 80 cents. One straggler here, though, 59 cents. Will they ever recover? Maybe we stop seeing satchel charge skins being accepted, but we have seen that, haven't we? We have seen more, so we'll see what becomes of that. It might take another year or so for that to finally go up in the positive. Welcome to Easter skins. Yippee! Easter chick bed. It's perfectly fine. Now, if I can recall, it was stagnant for a while, and technically speaking, I think it's still technically stagnant because it's not too far off from its rust or price. But right now, you could sell your Easter chick beds for a profit. It might not be an insane, huge amount of profit, but it would be profit. So if I could just show the sales history, it has been improving as of recent. It did do quite all right initially for a while as well back in May. But yeah, it's only now starting to properly improve. Which, okay, yeah, that's cool. I'm happy to see it. But it might take maybe another year for that to really get somewhere. I won't be surprised. We'll probably need to see like another Easter chick skin being accepted to give that a nice boost. Sorry to say, but does that really sound that surprising to you? Looking at the previous Easter chick skins, I would like to remind you that fridge had been doing quite all right for like a considerable amount of time because it just didn't sell that much. And again, such a unique appearance in comparison to all the other fridge skins, which would also apply with like the bed. Because how many yellow beds do we have? Well, there you go. So, yep, this collection's progressing. I look forward to seeing what else could potentially be made. But you might have to wait a fair bit amount of time for that to actually turn into a much more interesting profit. Sorry to say, but yeah. But by all means, feel free to comment below. Did you also happen to jump in and buy in with the beds? You could even say if you happen to jump in and buy in with the garage doors. Yeah, garage door isn't exactly doing super amazing. Neither is the bed, to be honest. But at least they're not. At least they haven't crashed and burned, which you might notice with some of the skins here. Oh boy, oh dear, oh dear. So Easter Chick, I look forward to seeing a lot more of you in the future. Could we potentially see more hot crust buns in the future? Because yeah, that didn't work out very nicely. That right now is sitting there at $1. $1 on the Steam market. So I guess people probably wisened up and realised, hang on a minute, am I actually going to even or like ever use a Sandbag Barricade? Huh. Well, considering that, then maybe I don't need it. I did put down a buy order, but I didn't buy any of these. I definitely thought about it. I definitely questioned it, but I just didn't think it was going to hold up. Like in terms of potential justifications for that to actually maintain its price and whatnot, the best I could assume was maybe it gets completely bought out because it's sold next to nothing, and maybe it gets manipulated in the future. You can't like guarantee that's going to happen. You shouldn't also rely upon something like that to happen. But based on what I'm looking at right here, it hasn't held up very nicely, has it? And just to remind all of you, I thought like a 70-cent to 90-cent barter would be a-okay. I don't see any 90-cent barters left. I would have reason to believe a lot of people have actually managed to pick these up for a considerably cheaper price. I have picked up a few, but that's quite literally it, just a few. Because if I can recall, I only did one barter in this account. Or for this particular skin, that's what I should say. So, yeah. I normally use 2 accounts to do barters, but I used 1 in this particular instance. So, yeah. Well, that's basically Easter. Sorry for not going through like all the skins and whatnot, but I'm literally just going to give you the answer of Arts and Easter skin, Arts and Easter skin, Arts and Easter skin. Don't be surprised to see it's down in price. Haha. So, alright, cool. Understood. I didn't really expect much of Easter week 2. That's essentially what's just happened. Maybe in about half a year's time from now, we'll see the skins improve, do better. Maybe we could see a few of them actually work out quite nicely. Again, they all sold next to nothing. They could easily go up in value if they just get a few sales. So, okay then, cool. Well, there you go. There's Easter week 2. That's pretty much everything. Let's now give you a nice little preview for April 17, 2026. Oh, is that another transparent furnace? Yes. That's looking pretty interesting. As is the Skip EXE AK-47. As is, oh, a non-holiday salvaged axe skin. Oh, that's quite interesting. And look at the Gothic style of this sheet metal double door. Oh, yeah. Jackhammer's the focus title with the month. Oh, we got a Bish Jackhammer right there. That's looking pretty sweet. Popstars made a return? Really? Wow. Oh, cool. I wonder if people are going to care. Money bed. Lovely rose garden wall. Pretty cool looking wooden door. A pirate theme locker. And another protector skin, really? A barbecue. Okay. Well, protect the meat. So, yeah. We've got a pretty interesting video to do next week. But for now, that's everything that needs to be said with this Rust store. Let's see if it does manage to work out quite nicely in the further future. And again, I will ask you, please comment below, did you actually jump in and buy any of the skins? Also, have you actually managed to pick up any of these skins with a buy order? I have picked up quite a lot of things here. Quite a lot of things. And I did lowball buy orders. So, cool. But more specifically, did you actually jump in and buy one of these? Or 10 of these? Or quite a lot more? I'd be very curious to find out. And, you know, you can also sit there and say if you bought the Easter Chick bed and the Hazma garage door. It's all good. It's all good. Right. So, yep, that's all good. Catch you later. Say goodbye.